It is Friday, the 11th day of August 2023. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch and Hope TV, the station where you look and live. You're just in time for the day's news. I'm Tess Njenga. Let us begin. Religious leaders in the country have welcomed the move by the government and the opposition to foster bipartisan talks. The leaders, drawn from the National Council of Churches of Kenya, the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, and the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, are now calling upon the members of the dialogue teams to wholly focus on the good of Kenya. The leaders have added that the success of the talks will assuage the hearts of Kenyans who have been wounded in body and spirit, and as such, Kenyans expect that the bipartisan talks between the Kenya Kwanza and Azimio la Umoja coalitions will resolve the immediate political crisis, including the reconstitution of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission.
We reflected on the realization that prosperity, peace, and joy in our nation is dependent on unity. And as we recognize in the national anthem, let all with one accord, in common bond united, build our nation together. Having experienced tensions, violence, and political disquiet since the beginning of the year, Kenyans have in the last few days heaved a sigh of relief as the bipartisan talks got underway. The absence of toxic political bickering has accorded citizens a chance to reflect on their lives and to resume livelihood activities.
Recognizably, majority of Kenyans are suffering immensely due to the ravages of poverty. For we appreciate the sentiments and plans by the national and county governments to stabilize the economy, these have not reflected on the lives of individual Kenyans, especially the young people. We now call upon the government and the non-state actors to focus on strategies that promote adoption and strengthening of dignified livelihoods for the people.
On the same breath, the Kenya Kwanza Dialogue team has formed its technical team comprising of 4 members ahead of talks with the Azimio la Umoja team on Monday. According to a statement by the team leader Kimani Ichung'wah, the team will comprise of Dr. Muthoni Thiankolu, Dr. Linda Musumba, Nick Biketi, and Dr. Duncan Ojwang. Earlier, the Azimio coalition also picked its 4 members who will sit in the dialogue technical team. Those picked include Jeremiah Kioni as the team leader, Adam Solo, Zain Abubakar, and Isabel Githinji. This is in line with the government's This is in line with the agreement reached with the Kenya Kwanza delegation that each party appoints a 4-member technical team to assist the dialogue committee. Now, top Azimio la Umoja officials, led by former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, have today led a requiem mass of victims of alleged police brutality at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Park in Bondo town. Speaking during the event, Raila Odinga has condemned the action by police to use force on innocent protesters. Raila has added that their push to liberate the country is unstoppable despite the action by the police. On his part, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has demanded the resignation of Inspector General of Police Japhet Koome. Kalonzo has said he cannot get away with the killings that have been happening during Azimio demos. The latest comes after IG Koome early this week absolved police from blame over alleged extrajudicial killings during anti-government protests in mid-July, saying the opposition hired dead bodies from morgues and blamed police for shooting protesters.
Tuko hapa kusema pole kwa familia ambao wamepoteza wapendwa wao. Na wale wote nimeona ni vijana. Wameua vijana wetu, vijana ambao ni baba, ni vijana wamewacha wajane, wamewacha mama zao, wamewacha ndugu, dada, na tuko na majonzi.
Today is a very sad day, not only for the people of Siaya, but for the entire nation of Kenya. We are paying our last tribute to very young people.
Wakati watu wanaandamana, kama iko shida, polisi wanaruhusiwa watumie tear gas ya kutawanya watu. Huwezi ukatumia live bullets.
So these young people have died a very brutal and painful death. They are basically victims of gunshots committed by police officers who are supposed to protect them and their lives and property.
Sisi kama Azimio hatujaomba viti, hatujaomba hata katiba ipanuliwe tupatiwe viti. Tumetosheka kuwa tunatetea wananchi vile tulivyo. Usilete agenda haieleweki. Agenda ni gharama ya maisha. Agenda ni kufungua sava. Agenda ni kuunda IBC.
Can be a nation under the rule of law, which it should be. But unfortunately, right now, it's a nation under police brutality. Then you have to advise accordingly. Kome does not qualify, as we speak, to be the Inspector General of Kenya Police. Mimi maliza yangu na Kome.
Now moving on, President William Ruto now says that removal of visa requirements among African states remains key to promotion of free flow of people and trade in the continent. He said there was need for African leaders to free the continent of border chains, noting that even those who colonized Africa have done away with visa requirements in their home countries. President Ruto said Kenya has lifted visa requirements for African countries to promote intra-continental trade. He made the remarks on Thursday evening during a banquet dinner hosted for him at Ponta Vermelha Palace in Maputo by Mozambique President Filipe Nyusi.
With your commitment, the commitment of the people of this great nation, we will move towards a visa-free region and a visa-free continent. Kenya already made the decision 5 years ago that any African who wants to visit Kenya can acquire a visa at the airport in Nairobi. We are currently having a national conversation whether any African needs a visa at all, forget one at the airport. And I think by the end of this year, we will have made a decision, because we share history, we share culture, we share destiny, and it is in our place to begin to imagine a continent of brothers and sisters that does not have the limitations of barriers.
Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service Felix Kosgei has said the new university funding model is fair and will bring equity in access to higher education. He said university fees will now be pegged on a parent's or guardian's ability to afford the fees. Kosgei also called on Kenyans to take advantage of the newly launched Open University of Kenya to access higher education cheaply online. He further urged the area residents to diversify their farming activities by embracing coffee growing as well as dairy farming.
wasichana walikuwa naongea hapo, there is something they said, usitense. And I want to tell you the same things. Wakati wa mtihani msifanye nini? Musitense. Because God has taken care of you from the time you are in nursery school, from the time you went to primary school, na sasa ulianza form 1 mpaka form 4. The Bible says the path of the just is as a shining light, shining brighter and brighter and brighter unto the perfect day. So where you are today, you are with God, and that is where God wanted you to be. So
the government has set aside in the budget 650 billion for the first time, the highest budget, because they are focusing on education and they know education is an equalizer, education will transform this country. And therefore, hata na sisi tuwe tayari kupeleka watoto shuleni. Serikali tena wamefungua kitu inaitwa Open University. Open University ni masomo unaweza kusoma ukiwa kwako. Ni ya internet. Sio lazima uende Nairobi, sio lazima uende Kisumu. Ukiwa na laptop, una register na unaendelea. That is an innovation where we expect many young people waende wa register kutoka September wasome. Degree ya Open University is sawa na degree yoyote ya Moi, ya Nairobi University, we are requesting all of us, if you are not able to go to a university, bali unakaa wewe ununuliwe laptop, uregister, lipa fees na fees kwa chini na usome mpaka mtimu na upate shahada yako ili uendelee upate kazi.
Well, let us now take our very first break on Newswatch tonight. We have plenty more after the break.
Every individual desires a lifetime of financial well-being. The success of attaining this goal is dependent on having a reliable partner. Over the years, NWealth Financial Services Limited has emerged as the market leader in providing innovative and customer-centric services in pension administration, consulting, insurance, and investments. Accessibility is key, and to serve a global clientele, we have invested in world-class technology that ensures our clients have real-time access to tools and information through our mobile application, online, and USSD platforms. NWealth's commitment to all the stakeholders is to uphold high ethical standards through effective and sustainable governance for shared mutual value creation. This commitment is delivered through the solid partnership between the Board of Directors, staff, service providers, clients, government agencies, and other stakeholders. Innovation and excellence are at the core of our operations. With a team of over 60 professionals, we partner with you for a better tomorrow. To contact us, email us info@nwealth.co.ke or visit our website www.nwealth.co.ke.
Kama vile mashua baharini, mizani imekwisha wasili. Mara hii kila Alhamisi.
Msalata kabisa mpenzi mtazamaji, mpenzi msikilizaji wa Mizani.
Tungependa Wakenya waende kwenye nchi ambazo tuko na mikataba nao.
Kulikuwa na Raila Odinga, kukawa na Wajakoya pia. Mbona hongeunga mkono?
Tupe mauzani wa masuala ibuka na chupukayo kutoka kila pembe ya Kenya na ukanda huu wa Afrika. Yawe mambo au vijimambo, jiongea na kutaarifu na kuarifu zako fikra. Kila Alhamisi saa 1 machweo kwenye runinga ya Hope TV.
Mitamu.
Tukutane Mizani.
Welcome back. Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has called on all national government administration officers to remain vigilant and ensure that no one hoodwinks boys and girls in schools into drugs and alcohol. Speaking during Prize Giving Day at Gatanga Girls High School in Gatanga constituency, Murang'a County, Kindiki has said that the government will use all its powers and might to protect children from such criminals who want to destroy a generation. The Cabinet Secretary has said that parents, teachers and leaders have a duty and responsibility to help children be the best and take over leadership in the future.
So at that point, I want ule atakuwa pilot akuwe ni msichana alikuwa anasoma hapa, pilot wa president.
Wizara ya Usalama wa Taifa tumesema ya kwamba watu wote ambao wanajaribu kuingiza vijana wetu, wasichana ama wavulana, katika tabia ya ulevi na madawa, hawa watu wote ambao wako kwa hiyo biashara wajue wao ni adui wakubwa wa taifa letu la Kenya. We are seeing many of our young people whom we are depending on to take over the responsibilities of running this country, to take over the responsibilities of being parents and people in various responsibilities. Many of our young people are being lured into drug addiction and the abuse of alcohol. And all people who are involved in selling alcohol and drugs to our children and to our young people must know they are the greatest enemies of Kenya. We are going to fight them, and my colleagues in the ministry have already been instructed to fight alcoholism and drugs, and especially make sure that our schools and learning institutions are secure from those who want to profit by destroying our young people.
And ahead of this year's International Youth Day tomorrow, youth leaders have called on the government to create an enabling environment for youth to combat the harsh economic times. Speaking during their youth empowerment program today, Cynthia Barasa from the Forum for African Women Educationalists of Kenya has said that there is need to do more by the government. Barasa has at the same time called on the youth to ensure that they are on the forefront to advocate for a better country.
My call to the government is to create a conducive environment for the youth. Some of the issues that have been discussed today the main one is youth unemployment in the country. And this is attributed to a lot of things. One, the youth lack access to information, to the right information once they are out of school. Also, our education curriculum is not that effective to create, it's not career oriented. By this I mean, once someone is done with school, he or she is not able to secure a job immediately. He or she is required to gain experience, in relation to what they have done for them to secure a job, and that might happen after 2 or 3 years.
Now, the State Department for Correctional Services Principal Secretary Salome Wairimo has said that plans are underway to decongest prisons with a view of improving living conditions. To achieve this, the PS said one of the approaches they had employed was to work hand in hand with the judiciary to upscale issuance of probation orders and community service orders. Currently, there were over 62,000 inmates in the country, out of which about 25,000 were petty criminals who could be placed under non-custodial sentences to reduce congestion. The PS has said they were working closely with the Office of Chief Justice through the National Commission on Administration of Justice to achieve this.
The State Department for Correctional Services is undertaking many programs to see how we can decongest the prisons. And one of the approaches we are using is working hand in hand with the judiciary to see whether we can upscale the issuance of probation orders and community service orders, so that the remandees who are in prisons, instead of them serving their sentences in prisons, they go and do community service or probation to go for probation. And in this regard, we are working very closely with the Office of the Chief Justice through the National Commissioner on Administration of Justice. And we are also scaling up the alternative dispute resolution mechanism, working with the county commissioners and working with other stakeholders to see, and even the chiefs, to see whether family disputes at the village level and at the local level can be resolved outside of the court system. And so that way families are not only united, but also resolutions problems are resolved, especially problems relating to petty theft, problems relating to land can be resolved, and that way we do not have more people being imprisoned.
Laikipia residents have been cautioned against banning meat to prevent zoonotic diseases following an increase of poachers. Laikipia County Commissioner Joseph residents called game exposing them to diseases like anthrax. That Konambaya, Karigoini, Makutano, Ilipolei, Mukinyei, and along Nyeri Nyahururi route are areas which had witnessed game meat selling incidents. The administrator revealed that 4 suspected poachers in Dick and antelope meat to butchers have since been arrested and are waiting to be arraigned in court for illegal poaching.
Kumechipuka kikundi kingine cha uwindaji haramu ambao wanawinda wanyama pori ili kuweza pata nyama wakazitumia kwa mauzo na zinaishia kwa meza za watu za mankuri, dining table za watu. Kwa mfano, kuna wale wanawinda punda milia, zebra, kuna wale wanawinda dik, kuna wale wanawinda swara, na tumeona ongezeko la visa hivi haswa sehemu ya X-Rock, pande ya Konambaya, kule Laikipia Central, area za Makutano, Karigoine, na hizi nyama zikishawindwa toka porini zinauzwa katika sehemu za Mankuri na bushari zetu, barabara ya Nyeri kuelekea Nyahururu. Si wote, lakini kuna wale baadhi yao ni waragai na wanauza hizi nyama, na haswa kule sehemu kunauzwa hizi nyama choma na sehemu ambako kunauzwa hizi pombe haramu. Wanaenda wanachinja mafishoni na kuziingiza kwa busheri. Tumeweza kuwashika na watafikishwa kotini kwa hatia ya uwindaji haramu na pia kuuza nyama ambazo hazikukaguliwa na kuidhinishwa na officers wa afya wale wanahusika.
Thank you for consistently tuning in to watch and listen to our content both on Hope TV and Hope FM. You are the reason why we are on air. The CBS Family Service now comes to you every Sunday at 4 p.m. on Hope TV, Hope FM, and on Sitam Church Online.
The Holy Spirit will empower our prayer lives.
Our mission is to know God and to make Him known through evangelism and discipleship.
CBS Family Service on Hope FM and Hope TV, where you look and live.
Ukisoma historia ya Siratu Muhammad ambayo imeandikwa na Sheikh Abdullah Saleh Farsi, Muislamu wa kwanza duniani tunaambiwa ni Khadija bint Walid.
The house Jacob does not believe, and again I say, does not believe in anybody being God. No.
Mwanadamu atakayejisubmit kwa will ya Mwenyezi Mungu, huyo anakuwa ni Muislamu. Jini vile vile atakayejisubmit freely akaamua kufuata sheria ya Mungu anakuwa ni Muislamu.
Adui huyu ni shetani na majini.
Christ was not crucified at all because his close disciple Barnabas said that no, he was taken live to heaven.
Yesu alikuwa anaenda msikitini na alikuwa ni Muislamu kulingana na Biblia yenu.
Hakuna mahali katika kitabu cha Biblia kuanzia mwanzo hadi Ufunuo neno moja Uislamu.
Welcome back. Now in sports, the coastal city of Mombasa is set to play host to the 12th leg of the NCBA Golf Series tomorrow. Over 180 golfers are set to congregate at the Par 72 Nyali Golf and Country Club, looking to battle it out for top honors of the tournament. The golfers will be competing for their chance to secure a spot to play in the tournament's finals, with winners emerging in the overall gross men's category winner, men's runners-up, ladies winner, ladies runner-up, and juniors categories. The Nyali event follows the 10th leg held this past weekend at Muthaiga Golf Club that attracted an impressive 250 golfers in a highly competitive event.
At NCBA, we believe in building very strong connections with you, our stakeholders, and the communities within which we operate. It is for this reason that the NCBA Golf Series is such an important platform that brings together golf enthusiasts such as yourselves from different backgrounds, and in the process help to foster bonds and relationships between us and the golfing community.
And Bidco United are the champions of the second edition of the Elite Pre-Season Cup after edging Kariobangi Sharks 2-1 at the Kasarani Annex this afternoon. Following the win, Bidco walked home $1 million richer, as well as lifted the title to gather confidence heading to the 2023-2024 Football Kenya Federation Premier League. Bidco took the lead in the 17th minute through Chris Ochieng, who converted from the spot.
Mchezo wa soka nageuka vizuri hapa. Peter Nzuki amekataa. Shikanda Moses wanarudisha mchezoni. Donald Ange! Donald Ange! Donald Ange! Donald Ange!
United machampioni wa mwaka 2023 makala ya Elite Pre-Season Cup. Basi hawa ndio mabingwa wapya kabisa, wakiwa na furaha sana. Nderemo amefurahi sana, timu nzima hiyo ya Bidco United. Furaha sana, kinyanyua kombe pia John Walubuka Kelly. Furahia sana kombe hilo, na sasa kocha mkuu Anthony Ahulia ananyanyua kombe sana nzuri hiyo. Kwa mara nyingine tena.
And on that sporty note, we have come to the end of Newswatch tonight. On behalf of the whole team who has made this bulletin a success, thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga. Friday Friends is coming up next. Enjoy and have a good night.